So, is the thing on? I'm watching the world as it is, not not the world as I would want it to be, but the world as it is. It's some people find it frustrating for other reasons. I find it frustrating for my reasons. And can't we all just get along? But no, all right. So we all can't get along. I mean, that was obviously something that happened, and so we all can't just get along. So what do we have to do to not just get along? We have to figure out ways to find. Oh my God! So all right, here's the guy. Maybe it's a bad thing. I don't know.
Will you indulge me in something? Absolutely. Okay. I'll pick the tempo. How about this?
So, yeah. So this is the guy from the way I know this guy, Andy. He's cross-eyed. I mean, he's all kinds of incompetent, but he's got a show, and I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, I'm sorry, whatever. The guy's got a show, and he talks to like the housewives and stuff. But he's got some old heads on there.
Trail about 20 hounds. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning come around. Said I run, but take my time. Friend of the devil is a friend of mine.
Oh no!
Before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight.
I don't know who John Mayer is. I don't know who this guy is. And I've heard the guy, and it's like yeah. I'm gonna like watch this because it sounds like it's gonna be one of those things that I'd like to hear. So I'm gonna replay that. I'm gonna start it from the thing and hit that button.
I'll pick the tempo. How about this?
It's 12 by 20 hours. Didn't get to sleep last night till the morning came around.
Said I run,
Break my time.
Friend of the devil is a friend of mine. I get home
Before daylight,
just might get some sleep
tonight.
Ran into the devil, babe, and the loneliness one of bills. Spent the night in Utah in a cave up in the hills.
Said I run, but I take my time. Friend of the devil is a friend of mine. Till I get home before daylight,
just might get some sleep tonight.
So these are some old heads. Apparently a new head and old head. Braxton, you jumping up on the thing? I'm tired, Braxton. I'm just gonna do a thing where I was gonna play the song. If you wanna, I'll do an invite. Or God, man, I don't remember how to do it. Let me hit the thing. So I did it once, so I'm going to do it again. All right, here, hit the thing, hit the button, and your turn.
Take a little solo, come on. I went down the levee, but the devil called me there. Took my $20
And they
bill
vanished.
and vanished in the air.
Oh my God.
Said I'll run and better take my time. Friend of the devil is a friend of mine. If I get on before daylight, just might get some sleep tonight. Thank you, Papa.
So that was the the friend of the devil, and some old heads, some new heads. I like it. I saw this and I liked it because there's old people, new people, and the in between. That's why. So did I do it or not? Any case, that's where I'm at. So Braxton, if you're not going to jump up, I'm going to jump off. Yep, I'm paused, waiting. So let me check the full moon. Time and date for the full moon. So let me see the time and date. Attempted moon landing. What? Hakutu R. Mission 2 crashed into Mare Frigoris, the Sea of Cold, on June 5th. So this came up like a week or so ago. So the moon phases. So we're at 95%, 95.6% waxing gibbous. And so in a couple days, we're going to have the strawberry moon. Strawberry moon. And they got people. All right. So when I'm looking at the thing. Oh, wait. There we go. Braxton's up there. You guys hit the thing. If you want, I can't hear you unless you hit the thing. So the strawberry moon in June, named after the ripening strawberries gathered by the Native American tribes. Berries ripen moon, the green corn moon, and a hot moon. The Celtic name, the Irish's, called the horse moon, the dying moon, and the rose moon. The English, we have the flower moon, the planting moon, and then the mead moon, like the mead, the Anglo-Saxons, the mead. So it's all coming up on the summer solstice. So the full moon has been integral to tracking the change of months and seasons since ancient times. Today, we use many of these ancient month names as full moon names. What are the full moon names? Um, we get the stars. So the sturgeon moon, the beaver moon, the harvest moon. I like the harvest moon. The pink moon. We get the wolf moon. The hunter's moon. Cold moon. Oh my god, it's cold. It's the buck moon, like with the deer. That's July. So the wolf moon is in January. So let's see what the wolf moon is. So we had that a couple uh, half year ago. The wolf moon. The year's first full moon after howling wolves, but it's also called the moon after Yule in the Anglo-Saxon tradition. Oh, let's jump back on. Braxton, you're up here. I thought I hit the thing.
Oh, oh. Well, you was playing your harmonica, so
Oh
that's
my
why I muted.
I was just talking, killing time.
Oh, but yeah, what I was saying, what I was saying in the back chat, and there's also the Native American zodiac.
Is that the greatest expression of all time? Killing time. So I was just killing time. Like time well spent. Why do we spend time?
Yep, using it wisely.
You done all right?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I paused the movie. I've already seen it. I just paused the movie that I watched. It's my second time watching it.
What are you watching?
Final Destination Bloodlines.
Oh, the Bloodlines. I think I watched that one. What was the Bloodlines about?
Oh, and yep, the Grim Reaper does not give one good care.
No, they don't. But the Bloodlines. What was that one about?
Well, the Bloodlines, it shows well in this one, and this is the sixth film in the Final Destination franchise. Now, in this one, is set is set back in the late 60s. Is 1968 in the movie, I learned, and it starts with Meemaw. So Meemaw is the one who's having the visions, about that building, catching fire and coming apart and falling. And in this one, since she survived and she went on, to have a family, and she went on to have kids. And since she was meant, to lose her life at a young age 50 years ago, so now the Grim Reaper is coming back. So like, no matter what you do, you cannot escape, the Grim Reaper. If you want to, you want to. So if you don't die, so if someone doesn't die in his original plan, then he's gonna get at you another way. So like, if he can't get you through, like some type of accident, or or some type of tragedy, he'll get you through your health. So he'll make you terminally ill. And anybody who escapes his plan, if they're going to have kids, so now he's going to go after their kids and their grandkids and their great grandkids. Because why? Since they were supposed to, die at first, that means they should not have kids. So why should the kids and grandkids exist? So now he's going after everybody, no matter how many decades, how long it takes him. He's gonna complete his list, even if, yeah.
The cop in that.
There has to be another way. Please, you have to help us.
For years, people have been coming to me for advice. Well, I'm tired. I'm done with all that. And now I'm sick just like Iris. There's no running this time. Fact is, you're all gonna die.
You're all gonna die.
After that,
And then I
I
will
will
too.
too.
Yep.
So who's that? Who's the old cop?
Oh yeah, well, number one, he wasn't a cop. He was the coroner.
Wild Dog. Wild Dog, jump up in the stream, hey guys.
So yeah, he was the guy who yeah, he brings in the body, examine the bodies and all. No, I think no, he was both that and the mortician. Yes, so like he came and got the bodies, examined them, and he also, made up the bodies for their own funerals. Yeah, yeah, and his character name is Bloodsworth. No, his last name is Bloodsworth. I forgot his first name. Yeah, but in the movie, his last name is Bloodsworth.
Bloodsworth. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Bloodsworth. Yeah,
How-
so he was the expert. Well, he was the expert on knowing how death moved and how he planned in his designs and all. And sadly, that was his final film because as you can see, he was terminally ill. He had some
no,
type of cancer.
the
So
cop.
yeah.
What's his name again? Hold on,
Yeah.
let me-
Okay. In the movie, his last name is Bloodsworth, but in real life, his name was Tony Todd. He was another famous actor.
and he just perished.
Nope. He perished before last year was out.
Hmm.
So yeah, he was 68. But luckily, he did one of the films that also made him even more famous, and he lived to see his daughter get married and walked her down the aisle and all. So
I, I don't mean to be like mixing all kinds of stuff up, but what was
it's all good. It's all good.
what else was he in that I would have known? I'm thinking of like the Natural Born Killers type style films.
Yeah. Yep. He was because he was in 1989 he was in Lean on Me. He was in that movie with Morgan Freeman and Beverly Todd and a number of other people. Yeah, so he was in Lean on Me. He was in Night of the Living Dead from
Yeah,
yeah. He was in the version that came out 20 years after the first one. And he was in Final Destination. He was in Final Destination. Let me see. He was in Final Destination 1 and 2 and Final Destination 5. Yeah, so yeah. Final Destination, no, Final Destination 3 and 4, he wasn't in. He was just in the first one, the second one, and the fifth one, and the last one.
So am I getting things mixed up, or was he like one of the guys? I'm thinking Natural Born Killers, but I'm trying to think of the other movie that I thought of him in, like with one of those like the sick people where they all went fucking nuts, nothing fronts.
Sick people and they went nuts.
Yeah, with the guy who was like the clown and the guy and the girl, and they all went nuts. And he was like one of the was he one of the guys in that oh man, what was that movie? I can't even remember. It was one of those B like D class movies. I can't remember.
I'm not. He might have been. I'm not too sure. Oh yeah, and he was in another horror film that I saw some years ago. I think I might have been in high school when I saw this one, and it came on TV. I don't know the name of it, but he was also in that film, but I don't know the name of it though. And so yeah, I never got the name of that other film I saw him in. I wish I did. So, but yep, he's been in a number of stuff throughout his career.
I like his voice. Let me play it again some more.
Now that my old friend is gone, I'm retiring.
So what? You just gonna leave us here? Dude, we need your help. Where are you going?
I intend to enjoy the time I have left, and I suggest you do the same. Life is precious, Enjoy every single second. You never know when. Good luck.
Nah! Mic drop. That's
Yep, and I hope, yeah, yep, and I hope you know that now when he was first talking, he was acting, but into the rest of that, he wasn't acting. He was speaking. Yeah, he was speaking as Tony. That was real. Those were his words.
I remember from somewhere that like I felt like a moment, so I just can't recall what it was, and I feel like it was a killer clown movie or something like that.
Oh, I saw. Well, I think so far the only Killer Clowns films I've seen in my life is Killer Clowns from Outer Space and Dead Clowns. And mostly I had to watch. Yeah, one I had to watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space because it came in the decade I wish I could have experienced, the '80s. It's a I love the '80s because you were blessed and lucky to be part of an interesting decade. So yeah, so I had to have watched it. I can't talk. I had to watch that movie.
All right, so I'm gonna run this one more time, and you fuck with death and you lose. So I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna
Pretty
get.
much, yeah.
I'm not gonna get killed for rerunning this. So I'm just gonna like run this and let it play. So
Yeah.
here's a
Yeah,
little.
well, as long as you was not on this list, you're fine.
Can you hear it all right?
Yep. Yep, I can hear it.
You were the last. You were the little boy.
Correct.
So all that time she wasn't just protecting our family. She was protecting you too.
Years later, she tracked me down, helped me see the truth. We traded ideas. I helped her fortify her cabin. We became friends. I even helped her get the best medical care I could, considering her condition.
Iris said that you found somebody who stopped death and survived.
Yes,
And how do we do that?
there are only two ways: by killing or by dying. If you take a life, you get the time that person had left.
What? No, I'm not gonna kill someone. I just let the guy finish.
And to truly
guy
break the
finish.
cycle, you have to die.
What does that mean?
A long time ago, a young woman named Kimberly Corman found herself on death's list, just like you. And when her turn finally came, she died, flatlined. But her doctor managed to bring her back, and that broke the chain.
So the flatlining thing. Braxton, have you ever flatlined?
No.
Mm.
Have you?
But but you do know what it means to flatline?
Yeah.
Okay.
Die.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. And you experienced that well. Thankfully you survived it.
Well, maybe thankfully. I mean, if you're happy, I'm
I
still
mean,
here.
yeah. I mean, hey, well, one, you're still here and you're still physically and mentally able. So yeah.
All right, then we'll do that. What are you talking about?
Why didn't Iris try that?
It's risky. And if you fuck with death and lose, things can get very messy.
Hang on. Okay, wait. No, there has to be another way. Please, you have to.
For years, people have been coming to me for advice. Well, I'm tired. I'm done with all that. And now I'm sick just like Iris. There's no running this time. Fact is, you're all gonna die. And after that, I will too.
Oh, after that. Oh, all right. So that's a big thing. After that,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
so he's gonna live past all these kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you see, because well, because also he goes by, and also the Grim Reaper, he goes by in order, but he goes in order by alphabetical orders. So like well, I learned this from watching the movie because the grandma, because Mima Iris, she made a whole scrapbook, of the past events from the past films and all, and down to I think currently too, how to navigate this plan and all. and since and since Iris has been, dodging him for 50 plus years in Bloodsworth, I don't know how he's been doing it too. So like I told you, if he doesn't get you through his original plan, he'll get you through another way.
Right.
So yeah, in his very last resort against the people who are on his list is getting them through their health by
So,
striking them with terminal illness.
oh, all right, all right. Here's his last line. He's got another moment left. Hold on a second.
Now that my old friend is gone, I'm retiring.
So what? You're just gonna leave us here? Dude, we need your help. Where are you going?
I intend to enjoy the time I have left, and I suggest you do the same. Life is precious. Enjoy every single second. You never know when. Good luck.
That's fantastic.
No,
Oh man.
Yep, there it is. And Kimberly, yeah, Kimberly's character, she was in the second film. She was the other one who had visions, and down to the end, her 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 and the cop had cheated death, was supposedly cheated death. Now what happens to the cop, I don't know. But as he brought up Kimberly, he said that she also flatlined, and the doctor should try to revive her. So I'm assuming that just like him and Iris, she was avoiding, she was dodging death, and then he got her through her health.
All right, so you talking about the grandma? Is the grandma involved somewhere here?
Yeah, in the new one, yeah,
This one, Bloodlines.
yes,
All right, where's the grandma? Is it like early in the film or late in the film?
is early. It's early in the film.
Is
Yeah,
it? Is
yeah,
she?
yeah. Huh?
Is she looks like death, like rolled over.
No, she's a very no. She was a beautiful young woman.
Oh, well, is she blonde?
Yeah, blonde headed.
Oh, up on the Space Needle thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's her. Like I said, it's set back in the late '60s, so it sets back. Because bloodline. So we got to go back to the very beginning. Yeah, so it starts with Mima back when she was a young woman.
All right, I found it. She says I was going to do this at dinner, but oh my god! So all right, so I found the she's old telling the story when she was young.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
into the future and saw what death was about to do.
Oh,
I was gonna do this at dinner, but seeing as we have this view.
Hey, don't throw that pen.
so she got like a pretty ribbon in her hair.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And on her dress.
Absolutely magical, and that's all because of you.
So have you ever done that? Have you ever seen like there's like it's like I've seen this before. Have you ever done that?
Done what?
Deja vu.
Yeah, I had some feelings of deja vu before.
And did you feel like it was like real? Like it's like this is actually something that I really
I feel,
actually had
yeah,
happen.
yeah, well, somewhat.
So with this this scene right here on the Space Needle, she basically saw herself as an old woman looking back at herself as a young woman.
Yeah, Yep, that's when yeah, her granddaughter came to her. Her granddaughter came to her looking for answers. Just so then of course she had to tell her. So of course she had to tell her granddaughter story. Back when maybe when she was her granddaughter's age, I'm assuming. Yeah, and on how how she had the vision and how she was supposedly escape death. Because I say she died, she didn't escape it. I said because when you're on death list and his plans, that's just a sealed deal. And and now her granddaughter, now she wasn't having visions, but she was having dreams about her grandmother. And that's another thing that led her to go and search for her. You see, because the family had kept it a secret. It had nothing to do with me, my Iris, because because after she had her kids, she had a son and a daughter. So after she had them, and after she dodged death, and after she and her husband had dodged death's plan, he went on. They went on to have kids and all that, but her husband, he ended up dying some way. Like, cause like I said, he died in another way. He didn't die the way he should have died, because why? She saved everybody. So now everybody who was on his list then, they was now going to die different ways. And with Iris, and so since she went on to have kids, and as they grew up, she took them out of school and kept them isolated from everything. So basically, so she would, like, she was doing what she was supposed to do, one, as a survivor and as a parent and all. But of course, it made her lose her mind, and then it was just too much on the kids. So after they got it was too much on the kids. So then the state had came, it took the kids away from her and all. In fact, and fast forward, to when they're adults and when they had kids themselves, it's like when they were telling stories about her, they were just saying, she's messed up in the head. We have nothing to do with her, and just stay away from her, have no contact with her, and don't ever mention her. Basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, but it was all for good reason. And yes, she lost her mind and went mental and went crazy. But you understand, but you can still understand of why she did what she did, because she was just trying to keep them safe. So
Well, so my understanding of the final destination is that we're all going to die, right? And you can't you know stop the inevitable. Maybe you can
yep,
maybe you can push it off, but then if you see things that may take place, right? Like, okay, well, maybe I can change that, and then worse things happen if you try to change it. It's like the worst thing that could happen is not actually the worst thing that could happen
right,
if you try to change it. The psychic and abilities and all that. The before seeing and everything.
right. Oh, yeah, and I just I thought about this, and in the third, was it the third one? Yeah, in the third one, Tony Todd's character Bloodsworth, he said, "For every life there's a death, and for every death there is a life." And and one thing that can also put a sword in Death's plans is pregnancy. I'm surprised he didn't bring that up in the last film. I was like, can pregnancy also? I was like, can pregnancy also help?
Oh my God! Yeah, that's deep. Yeah, because pregnancy like changes everything because there's new life, there's new spark.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. And they can also put an end to the Grim Reaper's original plan and start something else, and keep the people who were in his plan at first, safe from him. So yeah, because I was like, did they not think about the third film of when a pregnancy, it helped somewhat, but
Mm.
yeah, and it turns out still it didn't work, because in the third one went, because in the third one was with Kimberly, the young woman
All right, so
who
so
yeah,
what's your best favorite psychological thriller, like movie wise?
favorite psychological thriller movie wise. Okay, trying to think now. I say one of my favorite psychological thrillers
I'm
would
going
be
Dreamscape with the guy with the um he like dreamt, and he had a psychologist, and he was like in tune with the president and all that. And he had the other villain in the flick that was like the the tall snake man. You got to know that one, Dreamscape. If you don't know that, and the snake, if you don't know Dreamscape, um,
Nope, I don't know Dreamscape, but these are the ones I do know of now because I have a number of psychological thrillers. I mean, psychological thrillers. I don't have one now. One of my favorites is Hostel, Turistas. Um, let's see, a Hostel, Turistas, Anarchy Parlor. Now, okay, this movie has two films because there's an American version. No, because the, the film. Okay, there's a film called Anarchy Parlor slash Killer Inc. It's the same movie but separate titles because America has one title and abroad they have another title, but it's the same movie. I also like that one. And what other psychological thriller? Like, oh, and Somebody Help Me Part 1 and 2. I like that psychological thriller. And
so I'm old, and I'm getting like caught up on this like question about if you know in the Dreamscape, because it was one of those things like in the 80s where they did, have you ever seen the movie the Men Who Killed Goats with Their Mind or whatever, and had George Clooney and all that.
Man Who Killed Ghosts with His Mind. No, I never heard of that.
It's George Clooney, the Men Who Think About Goats or something. I don't know, whatever it is. I'm I'm not actually quoting the actual name of the movie, but it was that premise. But the army did like these tests, and they set these guys down in a room that they thought they had potential for. The CIA did this shit. It's well known. But Dreamscape in 1984 was the first one that I saw that actually resonated with me, and that was the one where they tried to kill the president in his dreams. If you have not seen that, I highly suggest it.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
It's like you take a nap, right? You take a nap with the president, and you get into his dreams, and you can protect the president or kill the president. It's one of those type of psychological thrillers, and
okay.
It's a real thing. I mean, that's what they did in the CIA. Yeah.
Area 51. Yeah, nothing would surprise me at all. And it just came to my mind. And these two other psychological thrillers. Scar. I love that movie. Scar 2007. I love that one.
What is it?
Yeah, it came out in 2007. Yeah, it is Scar 2007. I love that psychological horror thriller.
Is it on IMDb? I'm looking up IMDb.
It might be on there. You can check and see. Yeah, and there's only one actress I know in that movie is Angela Bettis.
Betty.
Say what?
Angela Bettis.
Yeah. Yeah, Bettis.
Look up Angela Bettis.
Yeah. Yeah, because she was real good in Girl Interrupted and in Carrie because she did the role of Carrie. Yes, she was good in both.
Angela Bettis, so a little white girl.
Yep. Thin.
She was in May, Girl Interrupted, Carrie. Did they redo the Carrie? That's horrible. They shouldn't have redone Carrie.
Yeah. The last Carrie was in 2013, and that was in Chloe Grace Moretz. She was Carrie.
Oh, she was in House too. I loved House. What was the movie you were saying?
The movie that Angela was in?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one I was just talking about, that was Scar. It came out in 2007.
Scar. Here we go.
I like the Yeah, I like the German trailer more because it's more tense.
Wounds never heal. Some wounds never heal. Joan Burrows returns to her hometown for her niece's graduation, only to be confronted by the serial killer she thought she offed years ago after he kidnapped and tormented her and killed her best friend. No, I don't think. I mean, I probably saw it, but I don't remember it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I like it's one of my favorites. Like I said, I watch it in English, but I watch it in English, but I love the German trailer of it. I said it sounds more tense and more serious.
Writer Jack Ford. What do we know, Jack Ford?
I don't know. Yeah. And
That's-
German is the discipline language, so of course it sounded more tense.
yeah. So he's got two movies: The Teacher, Girls' Night Out. Hmm.
Yeah, but there are places like that for real, both here in America and abroad. So you don't just go to anywhere, especially if you don't know about it. Yeah, so there are places like that in the world.
Hmm. Yep. Yep. I tell my kid that all the time. The hot. What do they call them? Hostels. The places that you sleep overnight in a foreign country.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better tell them that now. I might be speaking stereotypical, but it's been facts now. Now, it's been known for mostly white people to go to places like that, not black people, because you already know we don't mess with nothing like that at all. You might like I said, no, we don't mess with stuff like that. Egg, no. I said, because how it was back then, as you, like I said, with black people, you want to go with your white friends and all that, fine, but you tell straight up now, well, we will not be doing. So if y'all want to do it, you let me know. I'll take the car, shit, and I'll make sure y'all story gets out there.
It's. I don't think it's a white people. I think it's a stupid people thing. I mean, it's like if you want to like go, you're just a dumbass. You go to like. I mean, there's first of all scabies, any kind of diseases, whooping cough. I mean, all these things they just fester in those places. And then there's all the killing, and then there's all the kidnappings, and then there's all of this and everything. It's not. I don't think it's a black people, white people thing, or race or any kind. It's a stupid people thing.
Yep. See, but I don't do nothing. But of course now, the white people have evolved, and so has black people. Yeah, so there's been some changes made within the groups. But all in all, yes, a people period, you stay away from places like that, and you keep telling your son that from now until until he's grown, and be like, son, look, you want to go everywhere here and there with your friends, fine, but one, know where you're going and know who you're going with.
All right. So I'm going to tell you a quick story and ask you if I'm racist for telling it. So I'm inner city Baltimore working on some trees, and we're taking out a tree, and then uh, so we're working in a small enclosed area that has um, many obstacles, and we're taking down a limb. We're like 10, 15 minutes in tops, and I see the black guy that I'm working with run, and my instinct was I'm gonna run with him. It's, I'll tell you why. Was that a racist instinct, or was it just a smart thing to do?
Hmm.
I saw him run. He took off. I'm like, why are you taking off? I'm gonna take off too. I didn't know why. I had no idea why he took off.
Oh, hold on, and you said this guy was black?
Yeah, young black guy. So I'm like 30 at the time, and he was about 19, 18, 19. But he took
Oh,
off. Yeah, we're like, I mean, but he was solid from every point forward that we've been working together. I trusted him with my life at this point, and I saw
Yeah.
him. Yeah, he ran. I ran. I ran after him. I didn't ask
Well,
why. I didn't even think to ask why. It's just he ran. I ran. I ran with him.
there you go. That was the ancestors. Well, not your ancestors, but his ancestors. Now, little thing about that. Now, I know what that is. Yeah, black people, we know danger. Now the thing is, now when you see a black with black people, when black people see one person or a couple of black people running, we're gonna take off too. And that's what you do. You did the right thing. Do not ask nothing till later on. You see somebody running, and you take off. Point, and that's all there is to it.
Right. So, all right.
You,
Do you know why he ran?
yeah, why?
So there's a nest of bees, ground bees, that we had walked on and we were working on, and then we disrupted the ground bees, and he stepped on it, and I didn't know it. He knew it. I mean, he had a ground bee like, and he took off, and I was like, I had no idea with the ground bees until 15, 20 minutes later, but he's like, I'm going. I'm like, I'm with you.
You know, like I said, at least you learn early on at a young age. You say you were 30, so at least you learned at a young age. So yeah, because you black person running a couple, yeah. That means danger might be near approaching. So you might want to take off too. So like I said, even back then the horror movies, I'm glad, even though that changed, but back then the horror movies, either if there were no many black people in a horror film, or if there was, they were the first to go. Now they might get got in a horror film, but in real life, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. The horror films. Yeah, I'm. I don't live my life by horror films. I live my life by like real, reactions. Like you see somebody run because whatever reason, and you trust. It's a trust thing. I trusted him. I trusted him with my life on multiple occasions before this. Right? Doing what I do, you have to
And you
trust.
still trusted him, because you followed him. So yeah,
Yeah.
you trusted him still.
I had no idea why, but I'm going. I'm going with him.
And me, like I said, if a black person they got run, if they tell you let's go, let's roll a run one time, and you don't do nothing, well, and that's on you.
Right?
Yeah, because that's how my dad raised us when me and my sister were growing up. Like I told you, when me and my full-blooded other sister were growing up, he told us he's gonna tell us to go, or let's clear it, or come on one time.
Hmm. That,
Excuse me, but yeah.
that would be nice if like that's how the world worked like completely. Like I trust you and everything.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be a wonderful world, would it?
Because all right, so let's say I was to not let's say I grabbed the sandwich, and you were about to eat that sandwich, and I put it down, and like that white dude just put that sandwich down.
Yeah, I would take your word for it. Listen, you don't have to tell me twice. Oh yeah, that also goes back to your son too. That goes back to your son too. For when he becomes a legal adult age. When he started going out to parties and bars and clubs, casinos and whatnot. So you tell him you pay for you buy you pay for and buy your own drink. You keep it near you at all times, because if you buy a drink, you leave out and come back to it, it's not yours anymore. Buy another one.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't, because he's Irish. He's part Irish and my so I'm Lebanese, Syrian, Irish, and there's a little bit of German in him. So I swear I hope to God he doesn't start drinking and doing all this stuff, because if he does, because I mean, oh. But
Well, you tell each single side of him to drink wisely.
yeah, but I mean that's out of my hands. Once he becomes an adult and all that stuff, it's like That's your choice in life. That's you have to. That's your
That's
path.
yeah, yeah, right, true. So that's why, as of now, while he's still in grade school, he's a teenage boy. Like, so you and your wife instill that, and because you and your wife still install that and stay on him about it, and install that in him early on. So by that time, when he does become grown, and go out here and there, he'll have that playing in the back of his mind. Is it and you tell him, all I can do is tell you and teach you. Say, hey, the rest is on you.
Yeah, and the worst part of it is you know, let's say I was smart enough to listen to my parents and not have done all that drinking and drugging and all that stuff when I was young, and I had not learned all those lessons early, and then I was like a virgin to all the nastiness, the horribleness of nature and everything like that. I would not be the same person I am now. So I'm like, oh my god, it's like a double-edged sword. Do you let it's not do you let, but do you want them, or do you want them one hand, the other? It's like, what's your preference? Do you want them to experience the worst of the things, or do you want them to not experience the worst of the things and become uh, uh,
Hermits, or is the word you were looking for? Is it hermits or antisocial or shut-ins?
no. You say hermit?
Yeah, hermit.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm going to be a hermit. As soon as my son's out of college, I'm a hermit. You're never going to hear from me again. In about 3-4 years, uh, you're never going to hear from me again. But no, with raising a young one, it's like, do you wish that they experienced the things that you experienced, or do you wish that they do not experience the things you experienced, and they they had to learn it, a different way. So what I've done with my son, and it's the only thing that I feel like I really think in my stupid brain. I tell him all the things that I've done. I've been in this accident and these accidents, and I've smoked that drugs, and I've done this stupid thing, and I've done that thing, and I've drank that, and I've done these things. So I keep telling him, like, but then I'm thinking, am I like telling him, like, oh, okay, well, I'm still here and I've done all these things, or
Hmm.
or am I telling him, don't do all these things because I've done it and you shouldn't do it?
I get what you're saying now. Like I said, I'm not a parent right now. I don't have kids, but yet I understand this. I don't even have kids right now. Um, Now I say it's a bit of is in between, a balance of both. So either way, you are doing the right thing because in the end, you're doing it because you love him and you want the best, and you want him to go out and navigate like he has some sense.
Yeah, he's got sense. When people run into him, I mean, forget about it. He's a cool kid.
Yeah, yeah, and you say he's a sophomore. So how old is he now? He's what, 15, 16, or
Yeah, 16. The kid's he's going for a job now, and he's going to go. He wants to go. He wants to go work for an old folks home.
well, hey, shoot, there's a job and he was well. So hey, if they know if that's when he wants to like say, hey, he wants to make him some money. So hey, good.
No, and so my wife's willing to drive him there like daily. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like,
And,
hey,
and
should you willing to do that? He has some transportation, and until one of y'all, both of y'all, buys him his own first car. So hey,
yeah. So are you ever planning on having kids? Do you ever think about like having kids?
Yes, I do. But yes, I do want them in the future. Yes, yes, I want kids. I always say I want kids, but not right now. But especially not right now because the way things are in this country. So
Oh my
whoever has kids, yes, so
Crash.
whoever has kids right now or plan on having them, I said, well, good luck.
The way things are right now is the way things they have always been. I grew up. My dad's a Democrat, right? And he loved uh, what's his name, and he hated the other guy, and
Hmm.
it's the politics. It's not that's not a reason to talk about the kids thing. I mean, we talk about the what we think about how things should go, but it's a big machine. The politics is a machine. It's not something we can ever change. But it's not a reason to not have kids.
Right, politics. Yeah, politics is its own realm. That's its own entity.
Yeah, I actually think that. I mean, for the mood of the world, I feel it's like it's all right now. I mean, it's we've we've got, we've got like cars that can like float and stuff. We've got uh, a lot of safety barriers that
Sure.
we
At a
did.
low percent at a low percentage about flying cars and stuff. If the future is going to be bright, which is not looking too bright right now, but if things does change for the better down the road, then yeah, then yeah, there will be flying cars and stuff down centuries from now.
Maybe your kid's gonna be smarter than us and make all the anti gravity stuff. Why are you? What are you?
Yeah, yep. If the future is bright, if okay, I always say this: if the future is bright, then yeah, things are going to be a you. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get more words together. If the future is bright, things are going to be a utopia down the road later on into years and the years and decades and centuries to come. Now I say plans. Now I say cars will be in the. I say if the future is bright, cars will be in the air by I don't know, like in between then maybe 22. I don't know 2203 something or 2024 something, like 24 2403 or 20 or 24 25, or whatever, is now by that time, yeah, things will be flying if the future is bright. But if not, if things continue the way they are now, well, you can look forward to a society being like either like Mad Max or V for Vendetta. And
Mad.
I'm pretty sure you do not want a world like V for Vendetta because I think you've seen the movie too. And that type of government you do not ever want to take over because because usually once a fascist government takes power, that's just what it is. And you do not want a world like that.
All
So
right,
yes,
all right, all right, all right.
yeah, because in my opinion, in my view, if things comes down to that, I would rather have a world like Mad Max than V for Vendetta, and that's because I'm not choosing, I'm not choosing lawlessness. I'm just not choosing tyranny.
All
If
right. All right. So just within the last few months, we found out that Hitler actually went to Venezuela and lived there for like 20 years after World War II. He didn't die, like they said. We just found all this stuff out. And so, I mean, there's like, the fascism, the fascists, they're still out there. They're always going to be out there. And, wear your mask. Where's your mask? Show me your papers. I mean, we saw that during COVID. Where's your mask? If you wear a mask during COVID, I feel I will I'll bow out on this conversation because I didn't wear a mask during COVID.
Well,
And
due to my situation was sin, but since I didn't have my own place right now, so yeah, I had to wear it now. Now, certain places require that, then fine, and if they don't, I mean, if they don't, I mean, and if they didn't, still fine. But still, I see why the mask. I see why they came up with the ideas for masks, but still, even the medical experts knew that still was not going to help nothing. Like I said, because masks cannot protect you from an airborne sickness.
all right, so you just glossed over my point where they said Adolf Hitler was still living in South America for 20 years after World War II.
Yep, he was. Yeah, it was him and the Angel of Death. Mangala.
The Papa. Yeah. So
Yeah, him.
I mean, fascism never really died. I mean, they didn't really care to actually distinguish it.
Right. Yeah, right. Now it's for Hitler. Now, here, one thing I wish that did not happen is their home is his home being demolished because it could have been a good museum. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, but the thing of it is that we've been told a lie for 60 years, and it's like and like we just glossed over it. They lied to us for a long time that Hitler was still alive for 20 years after 1963. He was still alive. He was writing checks. His big generals, they were working for NASA in the United States government. It's the Germans that actually basically inserted themselves into the United States, system of intelligence for that whole time.
Mm.
So I mean, it's like what? I mean, it's not like I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about the evil in this world. I would like to perpetuate goodness, but I want to keep the flame of God going, and I'm not worried if there's they lied, because there's always a lie. There's a constant lie. They lie, and that's the thing. I don't think I'll ever be able to say, okay, nobody lies anymore. Yeah, it's a thing. People lie.
Yeah, yeah, that's always been around. And yeah, I was not trying to intentionally glossing over whatever you're saying. I was trying to follow. I was trying to follow you along the best way I could. But I said, but yeah, people do that. People lie. Well, that's why there's something called courts.
Well, the courts are the worst. They're all full of. The courts are lawyers. That's what there's a reason they call lawyers liars. It's,
Yep.
yeah, I mean, if it were a real court, I like I don't know. Um, I do love it. It's actually relaxing to watch um, the court versus politics. Watching these cases that Rich brings up, it's actually more relaxing than watching politics. Because
Hmm.
politics is just so dirty, and court
Well,
court court is just like one less level of dirty.
well, I say it's more of a professional. Is more of a professional way to handle things dirty.
Mm.
Yes, and more professional. Excuse me. It's
Bless
more of
you.
a professional way to handle things dirty. And yeah, but now as for politics, especially in America, I tell people politics has the relationship of Sylvester and Tweety and
Mm.
Tom and Jerry and Spike. Yeah, you know, as for the evil in the world, so yeah, well, yeah, I know you tend not to think about it or whatever, but in my particular case, yeah, I don't think about it every single second, but I have to be aware and conscious of it, especially due to how I look on the outside. So in my case, yeah, I have to be aware of danger.
Mm. Mm. And I do comprehend what you're talking about, with the skin color and the dynamics of that, but also,
Oh yeah, it has its ups and downsides.
you have to
Yep.
look back at history though. When I say my people, I'm like talking about the Irish. They were scorned. I mean, my great granddad, he was pulled into conflicts, and then my granddad, he was pulled into World War I, uh, and then you just got waffled. They didn't care. They don't care. The people, it's like the people in charge. Why are the people in that? That's a good question. All right, here we go. Why are the people in charge the people in charge?
Yeah, hold on real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, the Irish have been shit on in this country early on, and then they set up shop in Boston, and they set up their own fascist. The Irish are fascist. I mean, it doesn't matter what skin color you are or what nationality you are, where you come from. It's a I don't think it matters with skin color and everything, with where you're born, where you come from. If you have an inherent uh, lean towards wanting to be, you know, a person that wants to enact your will over others, I don't think that
All right,
matters.
all right. My bad. I'm back for the yeah. Now you can now if you can repeat that again. Yeah, I got called out of the
Oh
room.
God, I was on a roll, man.
Sorry about that. Yeah, somebody called me, and then yeah, somebody called me in the house, not on my phone, but in the house.
No, I was trying to get on a roll about it doesn't matter about skin color, nationality, wherever you're born. If it's in your nature to want to control another, it's just it's a you're a fascist. You just want to control. It doesn't matter where you're born, what color you are, what how much melanin you have in your skin. It's your nature, and that's how you get the power. I think the people who like to have power are the they just want to have control, and
Yeah, true.
I really don't want to have any power, but don't fuck with me, that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah, yeah. But see, the thing is about that is, yeah, you may not want no type of power, but power will help another group for not trying to mess over you.
yeah,
To counteract their power.
yeah, and then that's the whole thing. It's a group. It's like a gangs. It's like a gang, gang war. And
Yeah,
and so everybody huddles up, right? You get into uh, not a gang. I mean, it's culturalism. You bind over a certain subject, or you you feel like you need to gather forces, reinforcements, and that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah. Right, true. And yeah, so yeah, on one side, yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, like if somebody wants to take over somebody, yeah, they want to, no matter what color they are. True, but yeah, but the case being, yeah, throughout some history, it was due like yeah, it was due to one group wanting to take over another because they felt superior to another group due to either their religious beliefs, religious beliefs, cultural beliefs, or due to their skin. And that's been the great fact here. The great fact. Well, the great fact. I mean, the great fact of history and lesson here in this country, especially if people don't want to talk about it, gloss over, make light about it, or erase. I said, well, you can't. I said, well, you cannot erase what's already been done, and you cannot, and you can't cover the obvious. So hey, so you nigga know. So hey, we already know. And what else I was about to say? Oh yeah, and that's with the Irish. And yeah, the Irish.
The
But the
Chinese,
Irish, yeah, the Irish, Chinese, Greek, Scottish, and the Armenians, yeah, have faced their own, have faced their own ordeals and tragedy too. Now with the Irish, yeah, they faced the Irish and Scottish have faced theirs against. The British, we know, yes, it is. So it was one group of whites versus another, basically. But the thing is, I don't know if you knew this already, but if you didn't, I'm gonna tell you about when the Irish came here. They were treated, they were treated like dirt here too.
Yeah,
But now,
there was a movie about it. If anybody's going to go back and listen to what Braxton is talking about, like for future reference, what was that movie with Tom Cruise? Tom Cruise and the other lady, the other pretty lady, Tom Cruise and Coming to America, and not Coming to America, with the other. But yeah, exactly right. The Irish were fucked when they came
uh,
here.
uh, yeah. Now the thing is, now I don't know if you knew this and other people don't know, but I'm about to tell you. Now the Irish, they were treated like crap here too. But when they started acting funny towards those who came before me is when the country incorporated them into the police force.
Yep.
A lot of people say yeah. So there you go. So yeah, the Irish have been took that they've been like they took. No, so I say the Irish, well, at least here in America. So I say the Irish Americans, I'll say in particular, they've had their short end of the stick along with being on the tip end of it.
Yep.
So they've been the oppressed and the oppressors, and that's when they started to get. So now that's when they started to show their rear ends towards Black Americans when they thought or felt when they got into the elite club, which were the elite which were I can't talk, which were the elite whites. Now some of those elite, now 9 times out of 10, I said 9 times out of 10, all of those elite white people who did that, they were racist. Because why? Because they used the Irish to be a buffer against against against
Yeah.
against, I can't talk, against Black people.
So the famine, which pushed them over here, that's the story we're told. They were famined, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the potatoes, they all went bad, so they had to come over here. That's what we're told, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
when they got over here, they all had to band together, and then they became the Irish Boston Cops. And so
Yeah.
that's the story we're told.
Yeah. And along with them being criminals too. So it's like they were both law and lawbreakers, because remember you could be, yeah, because the Irish and the Italians, they were the first gang, they were the first thugs. I said, I know my stuff like this, so can nobody play me on that.
So how come the Irish are they made it out better than the people who came over here 200 years prior to them, from Africa. So people came over from Ireland 200 years after the Irish, the African the people. So there's a long history of people coming over here and setting up households, communities, and everything. Why do the Irish fare better than others?
This is my guess. I mean, this is my guess and observation. Well, now after the Irish, they got their little, badge of recognition. For just for the ones who had took it on. I know every last one of them did not, but most of them did. Because there was also a safety net for them. So they must have figured, well, we've been given this, and it turns out, that being this color seems to have some benefits, and it seems to be the right, and this seems to be, the right type of way to exist, versus quote the blacks, and the blacks, hey, they must be bad, something must be wrong with them, so hey, so why not go after them and treat them some type of way as far as harming them? So so they just ended up taking on their white supremacist mentality and way of being.
Okay, all right. So what about people from the Middle East? My direct bloodline is from Syria. So they came over here and they didn't try to do all that shit.
Well, they did. Yeah, they did. But still, okay, yeah, they did. But still, over in parts of but over in sections of the Middle East, there's also anti-blackness over there too. Yeah,
No, I'm
because
talking over here, like
yeah,
the
I
wealth.
am, because you can now tell you know now over there is anti-blackness now, whereas for the Arabs, coming over here from from Syria, from Syria, from Syria, Dubai, Afghanistan, Jordan, Palestine, etc. Now,
Yeah, my
I say,
they kept
uh,
to themselves, and my family basically kept to themselves. They made a lot of money, and they made businesses, but they didn't stir up any. They didn't band together as cops. They didn't band together as they just made a business and just kept quiet. Is that a racist thing? Like,
no,
uh,
though, there's not a racist thing. No, but no, no, there was no racist thing. But still, now I say now, since there's anti-blackness over there in the Middle East, they brought a little bit of that over here too. Because usually when Arabian immigrants come here, they set up their small businesses, and usually those are set up in ghettos and hoods and projects, and usually it is inhabit its residents are black people, so which meaning their customers and shoppers and patrons are going to be black, and there has been incidences, black people being accused of either stealing something, or whatever, or the workers, the workers and family that works in the shops, they have attitudes and stuff towards them, and in some cases they might be cussed out. I mean, they might be cussed out and called names. So yeah, all that stuff goes on. So yeah. So like, if Arabs, if they don't bring, like, for the ones who are like this, if they don't bring their anti-blackness here, they end up developing it in some way.
I don't know. I mean, my dad married the. I mean, he's like um, dark Arab, and my mom, she's red hair, and it was like oil and water that didn't matter there. Or what do they call it? They just meshed for whatever reason. They just you know. So the person. So what I'm saying is the person, not the people. A person, not the people. What breaks it down to like the Romeo and Juliet kind of thing?
You mean the Capulet group and the Montague group,
Yeah,
as a Romeo and Juliet, reference,
right.
for an example.
So yeah, so like, why did my parents hook up? Because they should not have. I mean, in all of our in my stupid brain, I'm thinking these people should never have met up, and I should not be here, but they did.
Well, I say your parents, they have the strength and the wit to go against, to go against I can't talk, to go against either to go against their people's hive minded, against their hive minded core beliefs, and they didn't they didn't fold under they didn't fold under their group's societies, pressures of, I guess, of being tribalistic, or sticking, or just strictly sticking to your own people or something, is my best guess on that. It's still, and there's nothing wrong with people who wants to stay true to their own people. That's fine. But if people wants to go outside, their color or their culture or ethnic group, is also fine too. I said, if they want to do that, if they're into it.
So would I be more helpful to? Would it be more helpful for me to think of society as a whole as tribalistic, or that, or people can break against the norm and buck the norm and be them themselves, and then generations going forward are going to be better for it. Is it better for generations going forward to be all tribalistic, or can we all just, like, separate from the norms and just do our own thing?
Well, I say the idea is good. I say yes. Now I say, now handfuls of people. Now the handful. Yeah, now the handful select, now the selected handful, yeah, they'll go against that and say, hey, hey, you are who you are. I am. Let's say, okay, you were made to be you were made to be who you are. I made to be the way who I am, and also since we're on Earth together, it's not just you on Earth. There are the people too, and people are going to get curious and interested in like what they see in another group, which means it's going to attract them. So if one group gets, so if they want to have gets together, they want to be together, and procreate, hey, fine. Now like I said, now only the selected handful are going to do that, but as a whole it's going to be tribal because the world is tribalistic. It's just the reality. So yeah, like I said, now ideas are peaceful, but reality is brutal. And do in like in the way the world's at and how planet Earth is, like I said, now Earth is a finite planet with finite resources, which means resources are limited. So groups are going to be fighting, so groups are going to be fighting over those resources to ensure their both financial survival and their genetic survival. And they goes to people who wants to stick with people who are in the group and keep the group gene strong. I
All right,
understand that.
all right.
So I say overall, now overall people are gonna want to realize that people are gonna want to stick with their own, and usually someone's main choice is their own people or somebody who might resemble their people.
So,
And the selected handful of and the selected handful are gonna not care about who they want to be with.
genetic and financial survival. So, so people are more inclined for genetic survival instead of financial survival, because people I mean, throughout history, people have remained poor in genetic survival, but financial survival, when you put away the group that you've been involved with for a long time, you can actually rise above your caste, as they call it. All right, you rise above, rise above. So, so why is it so ingrained in people to just keep in their own lane that they don't want to get out of their lane and go a little bit of a different way, or even completely the opposite way, and then have a better financial gain for their future, their kids, not just their kids, but their hereditary. So I'm going to cast off my flag. So my flag, I'm gonna add my flag to somebody else's, and we're going to join flags, and we're going to make a better financial future for each other going forward, and we're going to make it thing. I think that's what my parents did with me, and I'm not sure if that's what they thought when they were doing it, but I feel like that's what they did.
Oh, let's see.
Is your back thing on? I hear music in the background.
Oh yeah, yeah. That wasn't my. No, that was music. That was my TV. Yeah, I had my phone near the TV because I was marking my calendar because my calendar is close to my TV.
What you watching?
Final Destination. Like I said, I'm watching the new Final Destination, so I might switch it in a little bit to something else.
Yeah, I watched it a couple times, but um,
Yeah, so I might switch it back to. I said if I don't watch something else that I haven't seen, excuse me. If I don't watch a movie I haven't seen yet, I watch something that I've already watched. So I might switch it back to Sinners or switch it to something else.
let's see, what did I just grab? I grabbed something else recently. Uh, what did I grab? Thunderbolts. Did you watch the Thunderbolts?
No, but no, I haven't seen it, but I do know of it though.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Oh,
In my opinion, and I'm a Marvel fan. I watched everything up until like the last few years, and I was a fan until the last couple movies. But something changed in that thing.
then I'm in. Oh. Now, as for me, now growing up, I've been okay. Growing up, the first genre, well, the first I guess, well, yeah, the first I guess superhero supervillain genre I first saw growing up, it was DC. So I'm a DC fan. I've been more of a DC fan because that was the first thing I grew up seeing.
Oh my God!
Now,
So here we go with tribalism, DC versus Marvel.
yeah, yeah, right, right. Now I didn't come across Marvel until I was 7. Now that's when I started to get into Marvel when I was 7. And, so now I love Marvel too, but I love DC more. Like I said, because DC was the very first thing I saw. So it was
Yeah,
the first thing I saw. Yeah, he's like, it was the very first thing I saw. So so I mostly grew up watching that because it was the first thing I saw and I stuck with. Yeah, so
yeah.
like I said, it wasn't until so it wasn't until I was 7 is when I started. So when I started watching Marvel.
Yeah, Batman and Joker was the first romance that I think I ever grew up with.
That hey, the same year I was just about to say that. Yeah, Batman was the first D. Batman was the first D. And can't talk. Batman was the first DC. The first DC franchise. Yeah, I first saw growing
Yeah,
up.
and I had some of the original. I had when I was I had some old school comics, and I hate to tell the story because it's like the same old story. I had all these comics, and all the comics got lost. You know,
Get dang,
the old story with the comics and the cards, and if I had them now, I'd be a millionaire. All that stuff. Um,
dang! I
it,
think you lost all your comic books.
it was Batman. Batman was it for me. But then
Dang,
I tried to get into Marvel, and then it wasn't until Marvel did a couple things that I actually paid attention. But Marvel's cool. But yeah, Batman, DC, that whole universe. That's where I'm at.
oh, okay. And real quick, yeah, and real quick before I tell the rest about my whole Marvel DC experience from growing up. Yeah, if you do hear a bit of, excuse me, if you do hear a bit of noise in the background, that's not my TV. You might hear some thunder and some heavy rain. Yeah, because it's some severe weather that's going to be moving through right now, and it's going to be moving through tomorrow,
Where
tomorrow too. So.
where are you?
I'm in Louisiana. I'm in Northwest Louisiana right now.
I'm north. I'm a little bit north east of you, and
Okay.
it rolled through here uh,
You're okay.
about 4 hours ago, and it was
Okay, so you're up in the Arkansas area,
no,
from,
I'm up in
from
Virginia area.
Virginia. Oh, oh, okay, yeah, I'm thinking Arkansas. My bad. Okay, okay, all right, all right. You're up in VA, but yeah,
Yeah, it was rocking, and then so right now it's a full moon, the strawberry moon. I'm about to go out and have a smoke, so I'm probably gonna say goodnight to you right now.
all right. I'm about to say, I can get. I said we can get each other's numbers in the back chat and your email. Well, if you have an email.
Yeah. Hold on a second.
Yeah, hold on. I'll give you my email and my number. Hold on. Here's my email.
I don't even know where I'm at. I'm not even looking at the thing. I'm not that super smart, dude.
Don't worry, I'm not super smart either. And believe
Here.
I think you're way smarter than me.
I think it's just you, me, and Wild Dog on the stage. Here, I'll put my phone number there.
Okay. Yeah, I put my email in the back check and here's my number.
There you go. Oh, that's me. Yeah. So I don't think it's gonna. Maybe it will. Probably gonna. I hope I didn't put the thing on the
All right,
actual.
All right, I got it. I screenshot it.
There you go. I'm gonna delete it then.
Oh, and though you're not on social media, if you ever do join, like I said, I'm on Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter X, and
I don't.
Snapchat.
This is like, what we're doing right now is way beyond anything I've ever done before. I'm like, yeah, I just I work for a living, and just but it was like, yeah, Braxton wants to talk. I'm gonna talk. We're gonna talk.
Sure.
We'll
Yeah.
figure we'll figure shit out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, and just was saying, yeah, I'm on all those apps. And if you ever do, if you do join them, hey, we can follow each other or friend request each other, etc. If you ever do join any of them, I'm
I'm
on
not.
there, so you know.
I'm not. I mean, this. I go on the YouTube. I talk on the Manimal channel, and that's it, pretty much. I don't do Facebook, the YouTubes, the chats, and the WhatsApp, and the what's and this and the this and that app. I don't do that. So you got my phone number. That's what I do. I call and text. I'm old school. If I had a flip phone for the rest of my life, I'd be cool. But I don't even want a flip phone. When I was like younger, they said you have to get a beeper. So I had to go. I had to get the beeper. So I had, they would like beat me, and then I had to go find a payphone. I got pissed at that shit.
And pagers and all, yeah.
Yeah, the thing beeping at my waist in the middle of the morning, and then with the thing going off, I had to go find a payphone. And then not even just finding a payphone, I had to keep enough quarters with me to put the thing in the payphone. But no, I don't like any of this new stuff.
I see. Yeah, I see struggles of back then, but yeah, let me see. Yep, I got my number. Yeah, and I think you see, yeah, I put my number and my email in the back check for you.
Whatever you did, I don't see it. So whatever
Okay,
you
you all right? You don't see it? Okay, it was okay. Well, I lock your number into I lock your number into mine, and then I'll text you my email then.
did, yeah, I'm looking at the thing. The only thing I'm looking at StreamYard, with the
Okay.
thing. All I see is wild. The last thing was a half hour. Wild dog. A half hour ago said it was 100 degrees. That's all I see.
Okay. I see it too. But I'll text. Yeah, I'm gonna text that to you. Yeah, but now how here now and now I'll get off here and let you have your let you have your smoke.
Right. Well, keep on rolling. I like chatting like this, man. It's nice to talk with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. Likewise, at any time.
All right. Well, any time is subjective. I usually don't have a lot of time to talk, but this weekend I had off. So.
Yeah. All right. I got you. I see. Yeah. And if and when, like I said, and if and when we ever do meet in person, like I said, you will see that I am a small guy.
Nah. You're large in stature, and I respect you because I mean you got a large voice. You're large, So I'm not trying to say like, yeah, you're cool and all that stuff. But I mean, I respect you, and you're talking with me like you respect me. So that's what the whole world is about. We talk with each other respectfully, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. True. Like I said, I never once ever saw myself like that ever. Yes. So so I do thank you and appreciate that.
All right. All right. Well, have a great day. Yeah.
All right. All right. Sure, sir. And same to you. You too.
Talk to you next time.
All right. Get at you again.
Yeah. All right. That's Braxton, the best. What a great talk. Hour and a half. So take from that, extrapolate from that with what you will. I'm going to go have a smoke and get some rest. I got to go to work.